How lack of communication can be detrimental in any relationship. Have you ever felt like you're speaking a completely different language than your partner, like you're trying to communicate something important, but they just don't seem to understand? Lack of communication can be one of the biggest challenges in any relationship, and in today's video, we're going to explore just how detrimental it can be. In this video, we're going to assess how lack of communication can be detrimental in any relationship. We'll explore some common scenarios where communication breakdowns can occur, and we'll also discuss some strategies for improving communication in your own relationships. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how communication impacts your relationships, and you'll be equipped with some practical tools to help you communicate more effectively. Communication breakdowns can happen in any relationship, whether it's with your romantic partner, family member, friend, or co-worker. These breakdowns can lead to misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and even the breakdown of the relationship itself. Communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. It allows us to express our needs, feelings, and opinions, and to understand those of others. However, in today's fast-paced and technology-driven world, communication has become increasingly challenging. We're constantly bombarded with messages from various sources, and it's easy for important communication to get lost in the noise. This is especially true when it comes to relationships, where miscommunication and misunderstandings can have serious consequences. In order to build strong and healthy relationships, it's important to understand the challenges that communication presents and to develop strategies for overcoming them. I'm sure many of you can relate to the frustration of feeling like you're not being heard or understood by your partner or loved ones. I know I certainly can. In my own relationships, I've experienced communication breakdowns that have led to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. And I'm not alone. In fact, research has shown that lack of communication is one of the most common reasons why relationships fail. But the good news is that by developing our communication skills, we can avoid these pitfalls and build stronger, more fulfilling relationships. One common misconception about communication is that it's simply about talking and listening. While these are certainly important components, communication is actually much more complex than that. Effective communication requires active listening, empathy, and the ability to express ourselves clearly and assertively. Another common misconception is that communication should come naturally, and if it doesn't, it's a sign that the relationship is doomed. But the truth is, communication is a skill that can be learned and improved upon. By understanding the common misconceptions around communication, we can begin to develop a more accurate understanding of the problem, and we can take steps to address it in our own relationships. So, how do we address the challenges of communication breakdowns in our relationships? Well, the first step is to understand that effective communication is a two-way street. It requires both parties to be actively engaged and willing to listen and understand each other's perspectives. One powerful tool for improving communication is the use of I statements, which can help us express our own feelings and needs in a way that is clear and assertive, while also being respectful of the other person. Another important strategy is to practice active listening, which involves paying close attention to what the other person is saying, and demonstrating empathy and understanding. By implementing these strategies, we can create a more positive and constructive communication dynamic in our relationships. Here's a step-by-step guide for implementing the solution. 1. Start by being mindful of your own communication style. Pay attention to whether you're using I statements and active listening techniques in your conversations. Practice being more intentional and present in your communication. 2. Encourage the other person to communicate openly and honestly. Ask open-ended questions and avoid making assumptions about their thoughts or feelings. Show genuine interest in their perspective and be willing to listen without judgment. 3. Practice active listening by repeating back what the other person has said and clarifying any misunderstandings. This can help ensure that you're both on the same page and can help build trust in the relationship. 4. Use I statements to express your own thoughts and feelings. This can help avoid placing blame on the other person and can help them understand your perspective without feeling attacked. 5. Take breaks if the conversation becomes heated or emotional. Sometimes it's best to step away and come back to the conversation when emotions have cooled down. 6. Finally, remember to be patient and persistent. Effective communication takes time and practice, but the benefits to your relationships are well worth the effort. Keep working at it and be open to feedback and growth. Let's take a look at an example of how effective communication can make a big difference in a relationship. Meet John and Sarah. They've been together for 5 years. But lately, they've been arguing a lot and feeling disconnected from each other. John feels like Sarah never listens to him, and Sarah feels like John is always criticizing her. But instead of continuing to argue and blame each other, they decided to try using I statements and active listening. So, the next time they had a disagreement, John started by saying, "I feel frustrated when I don't feel heard." and Sarah responded by summarizing what John had said and expressing empathy for his frustration. Then, Sarah used an I statement to express her own feelings, saying, "I feel hurt when you criticize me." John listened actively and responded with empathy, saying, "I'm sorry if I've been too critical. Can we talk more about what's going on for you?" By using these communication strategies, John and Sarah were able to de-escalate the conflict and really hear each other's perspectives. Over time, they were able to build more trust and understanding in their relationship, and they felt closer and more connected than ever before. So, as you can see, effective communication can make a huge difference in any relationship. Let me tell you a story about my friend Alex. Alex and his partner have been together for 10 years. But they've been struggling with communication issues for a while. They would often argue and misunderstand each other, and it was taking a toll on their relationship. One day, Alex decided to try something new. Instead of blaming his partner or getting defensive, he decided to use I statements and active listening. He started by saying, "I feel unheard when you interrupt me while I'm talking," and his partner responded by summarizing what Alex had said and expressing empathy for his frustration. Then, she used an I statement to express her own feelings, saying, "I feel criticized when you make assumptions about my intentions." Alex listened actively and responded with empathy, saying, "I'm sorry if I've misunderstood you. Can we talk more about what you're thinking and feeling?" By using these communication strategies, Alex and his partner were able to have a more productive and respectful conversation. They were able to understand each other's perspectives and find common ground. Over time, they were able to build a stronger, more fulfilling relationship based on trust and effective communication. So, if you're struggling with communication issues in your own relationships, remember that it's never too late to try something new. By using strategies like I statements and active listening, you can start to build a more positive and meaningful connection with your partner. Now, you might be thinking, but what if the other person doesn't want to communicate effectively? What if they're not willing to use I statements or active listening? Well, it's true that effective communication requires both parties to be committed to the process. However, even if the other person is resistant at first, using these strategies can still be helpful. By using I statements and active listening, you're modeling positive communication behaviors that the other person may eventually adopt. Additionally, when you communicate more effectively, you're less likely to escalate conflicts or get defensive. This can help de-escalate the situation and create a more positive atmosphere for both parties. So, even if your efforts to communicate more effectively are met with resistance at first, don't give up. By staying committed to the process and focusing on your own communication skills, you can still make progress and improve your relationships. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to our channel for more helpful content like this. We'd love to hear your thoughts and questions on this topic, so feel free to leave a comment below. If you know someone who could benefit from this video, please share it with them on social media. And if you're looking to continue learning and growing in your relationships, be sure to check out our other videos on communication and relationship building. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.